Welcome back to another DA Musical HQ artist session. I know I've been gone for a couple of weeks. Had to take some time out to get rid of a little bit of a sinus problem, but I'm now back and looking forward to continuing, but doing weekly sessions rather than doing 2 sessions a week, so I can concentrate on 1 session per week. This week is no different. We've got a fantastic artist, a Berlin local, who is stuck in Sydney, or just south of Sydney in Wollongong. And Alice Hills, special artist. Looking forward to having her back in the Big B this summer, hopefully. And anyway. But you know me by now. I'm Dominic, your host, and looking forward to having a great chat with Alice down in the deep south. Just as a reminder that any donations that you make during the course of our discussions or any interviews, 10% of that goes to the World Health Organization to help with their COVID-19 response, but also various other things that they do. But without much further ado, I'm going to head down to Wollongong, which is like 2 hours south of Sydney. Alice Hills, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good to have you. Good to have you on board. It's been a while. We've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah. Good to speak to Berlin.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. The picture is fantastic. Like it's like you're in the room here, but you're not.
Yeah, no, it's nighttime for us.
Yeah.
And it's winter too.
Hey, well,
for you.
It's summertime here. I'm telling you, I'm getting outside this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit jealous. I wish I was there.
Yeah, look, at some point or another, they'll allow you back in.
I mean, yeah.
I think
we're just waiting.
I think you'd still be allowed to, but I think the borders are still closed in Australia. I don't know if they're letting people out, or I don't know.
We're not sure either. Yeah.
Who knows?
I think they might be letting people out, but not in. But unless they open the borders in like Germany and stuff for foreigners to come in.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're opening up the borders to the rest of Europe now, but I don't know what's going to happen. This is a strange environment these days.
For sure. It's a crazy world out there.
It sure is. So that was that. I was just playing a little bit of Nothing Left, which is from your EP Up, which was from 2017. It was a great EP, actually. It's I've just been listening to it again. Yeah. There's another track which features Martin Kelly. It's also a nice one called Tracing. Tell me something. Are you like busy with some new material? What's going on in your life?
So I was in the middle of Southern Hemisphere tour when Corona happened. I just came from New Zealand. I was in New Zealand for 2 months, like touring, playing gigs and playing on the streets. And then I came to Australia, and we were supposed to do like a 2.5-month tour here, which we had like booked a long time ago. And then Corona happened, and so like 2 weeks into the tour, it got cancelled.
Oh, no.
And so we've sort of just been stuck here, but it's been good. Like, we're living in a beautiful house with my boyfriend's sister.
Okay. And
it's like their family home. And yeah, I have my own garden now. Like, I'm gardening, I'm growing vegetables and all sorts of things. And I've been reading a lot. Been watching a lot of television, I have to say, which I never used to do because I don't own a television in Berlin. But when you got nothing to do, I guess you end up doing a bunch of senseless things.
Well, I mean, it's a good timing for doing stuff that you don't really have time to do in when you're playing lots or you're playing every week, that kind of stuff, So
Yeah,
that's good.
true. It's like the longest I've spent in one place actually, like since like maybe I'm not sure, like maybe like 8 years ago or something.
Wow. Yeah, because
So
you move around a lot because you do a lot of touring, like
yeah,
because you were doing a lot
like
of you were doing a lot of Paris you were playing a lot in Paris. I think like you were doing 2 or 3 shows or 2 or 3 tours a year in Paris, if I'm not mistaken.
probably, yeah. I love Paris.
Yeah.
Before Notre Dame happened.
Yeah. So much
Which
stuff
is
has
very
happened over the
unfortunate.
last couple of years, eh?
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's been crazy, eh?
Crazy
Yeah.
stuff. And are you writing songs?
Not as much as I would like, but I am sometimes doing like recording sessions with my partner, Coast Notion.
Yes.
He's like a hip hop, rap, R&B artist, and yeah, we've like released 2 songs together now, and I'm like singing backings on another song that he released like not so long ago.
I was threatening to play that song actually.
Oh, right.
I might be able to do that actually. Let me just see if it doesn't disturb the interview. Let's just check. This is this one, and you can hear it as well. So maybe you can introduce the song. What is this song?
This song is called Golden. Alex wrote this in Berlin.
Oh yeah.
Like almost 2 years ago when it was summer over there.
Oh wow.
And,
did he record it in Berlin?
Sorry?
Did he record it in Berlin as well?
He recorded. No, he didn't record it. He would always make recordings, like very simple recordings on GarageBand on his phone.
Yeah.
And then he would usually take that and go into a studio and then re-record it.
And you would do that in a studio in Australia or in Berlin?
He did that in Sydney.
Oh, in Sydney.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a cool song actually. It's a nice rhythm. Nice tempo to it. Yeah, it works quite nicely though, this little setup where you can play music and do little things and yeah, okay. So he's also quite busy. Does he do like a lot of touring as well, or is he?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh, really?
Actually, probably just as much as I do.
Oh, wow.
And so ever since we got together, we've just been touring together everywhere we go. So.
And do you do like street performances more than like venue performances, or like?
It sort of depends on the season and how long in advance we plan. Like,
okay.
Obviously, in the past, like I've definitely been more relaxed about like busking a lot and then like playing, you know, I still would play shows here and there, but like I think it was like a lot more busking now.
Okay.
I think we're doing a bit more shows, but especially in places like Australia and New Zealand where it's just very expensive to get there, so you have to plan in advance.
Oh sure. Yeah, budget constraints are nightmarish. Tell me, what's the live scene like in Australia? I know you've been to Australia a number of times. You played in Byron Bay. Did you actually play during the festival or around the festival? Or?
I played in town during the festival, but not like at the actual festival side. I always went to the Blues Fest as well because it's awesome. Like I've seen some of my favorite artists in the world there.
Those festivals are incredible. It's like incredible, and
I was really looking forward to this year as well. But
I know everything is shot to pieces this year. Well, let's hope for next year. Next year should be, barring all new viruses, should be better.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone really saw that coming. I remember I was very optimistic in the beginning of the year. And I was like, oh, like I was just started my whole tour, and like which was gonna be like a almost half a year tour.
Crazy.
I left on the 26th of December, went to Bangkok, Thailand for like 2 weeks, and we've played gigs every day. And then we went to New Zealand, did 2 months there, and then to Australia. And I guess just kicking off the year so busy, so incredibly busy. Like it was a really good start into the year, and we thought, oh, this is a great, you know, I don't know,
Madness.
so exciting, and
I
like
know.
you don't know what's going to come, and then it's just the whole world just stands still.
It's ridiculous. It was so fast. It was so quick. I remember my father was here middle of February. And we were taking trains, and we were all over Germany and Hamburg and this and that and the next thing. And we already had the virus by that stage. The virus was already in Germany by that stage. And nobody knew about it. Like I think we maybe had like 1 or 2 cases, and people were like, nothing's going on here. We're fine. You know, it's Germany, right? And then a couple of weeks later, we were all sent home to do work from home, which is ridiculous. But anyway, look, I think it's given us all a bit of time to reflect, and like there's lots of opportunity, I think, that is going to come out of this. It's just a matter of using it properly, you know. So you said you said to me that you were doing jewelry as well. You've like coming up with a jewelry line.
I started making jewelry like when I got to New Zealand, and it's something I always wanted to do. And I guess I sort of just stumbled upon, like I just met some people that were making jewelry, and I just thought it was the right time, and I started making it, and it's really awesome. I really enjoy making jewelry, and it's something I can sort of do on the side as music. And when I would play gigs, back when gigs were still happening, I would like sell my jewelry on the side, which works pretty well. And now, ever since Corona, it's like not been doing so well, but you know,
you'll have to put it in your website.
Yeah, I have a website, but I think because I'm like so far away from everything, like shipping times have been like extremely long as well because of Corona, because everyone's just ordering stuff in.
Yeah, it's madness. It's crazy. It takes forever to get things though. I mean, even there's some items, like even just for Amazon, right? There's some items that are taking 4 days that would normally take 1 day to get to you here in Germany.
Yeah.
Which is like...
Yeah, see, this is something, like, I guess because Australia is pretty big, like, it already is, like, longer.
Totally.
Like, it takes longer to get things, but, well, here is
oh, wow. Check that out.
A necklace I'm going to show you. This is on my Etsy store as well.
Cool.
So they're, like, all, like, different stones. And they're all, like, different designs. That's like, the macrame stuff. So, like, that's just using threads, and then, like, I've made, like, heaps of, like, pendants.
That's pretty cool.
Like, just some moonstone.
Check that out. You'll have to give me the Etsy address so that I can put this in the link here.
For sure.
But those are great. Have you sold quite a bit already, or?
A few, yeah. But, like, usually, like, yeah, I've definitely sold a fair amount before Corona, and now since Corona, like not that many, but, like,
I think people are holding on to the money that they've got somehow.
Yep.
That's
I can
tough.
understand.
Very tough. Wow. What else was I going to ask you? Yeah, so look, I suppose you'll only sort of be making it back to Europe when they allow you to, so it could be some time.
I'm quite positive about it. Like, I don't know how realistic it is, but like, I'm hoping that maybe by July or August we'll be able to come back over.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's see.
We'll see how it goes.
Do you want to play us a song?
Cool.
This is what I do. You know, I just do crazy stuff. Jump around the interview.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh no!
Oh, the phone's
Hi.
dropping. Oh dear.
Okay, and this is why you should use a stand.
This is why you should have a stand, yes.
So this song is a song by Georgia Smith, who is from the UK, and she's black, and she wrote this song about boys that are scared of the police and they're running away even though they haven't done anything wrong because they're, you know, police brutality and all that.
Yeah.
So I thought this was a pretty good topic.
Pretty apt at the moment.
What's like happening in the US. So yeah, I've been playing this song for a while and I think it's a very good song. So hopefully you like it too.
I will. We will. Take it away.
When I turn those blue lights into strobe lights, maybe even fairy lights, no blue flashing lights, those blue lights into strobe lights, maybe even fairy lights, no blue flashing lights. Don't you run when you hear the silence coming. When you hear the silence coming, you better not run, cause the silence not coming for you. What have you done? You went to school that day. It was a bit late, but it was a Monday. Kept off the class for answering back. You apologize, there's no harm in it. What have you done? There's no need to run. If you've done nothing wrong, blue lights will just pass you by. Gun crime into your right ear, drugs and violence into your left. These full rod headphones flooding the auditory subconscious ways you accept. You're sitting on a floor back home, where you orgy, answer your phone. Pause the poison to answer his message. Your voice sounds rushed, fierce for his adolescence. What have you done? There's no need to run. If you've done nothing wrong, blue lights will just pass you by. So a black shirt is you getting off the bus. It shows no emotion, so what's even the fuss but the face of your boy casting dark a picture of the red hand and egg. He's gonna always gone. Look, but I'm sorry, cause I know you got my back. I was running, I couldn't think to get out of that. Not long ago, you were married to the shook once. Now this really is hard to cause you're the shook one. Hand you the tools, you question your friendship. This man like you ever made me a convict. Never fell when I've done nothing wrong. Blood on my hands, but I don't know where it's from. Oh, you got blood on your hands, but you don't know where it's from. So you gotta run when you hear the sounds coming. Run when you hear the sounds coming. Run, oh, oh. Run, oh, oh, oh. What have you done? There's no need to run. If you've done nothing wrong, blue lights will just pass you by. What have you done? There's no need to run. If you've done nothing wrong, blue lights will just pass you by. When I turn those blue lights into strobe lights, maybe even fairy lights, not the flashing lights, those blue lights into strobe lights, maybe even fairy lights, not the flashing lights.
Super. Super, super, super. The voice hasn't changed.
Oh, wow.
What guitar is that you are playing?
It's an Epiphone. Wildcat.
Wildcat.
Yeah.
There are some stories attached to that guitar, I hear.
There are, actually. I bought this guitar in 2018, I think in January 2018 in Melbourne. And I took it on tour through Australia, and then I bought this like extra hard case for it, like specifically for this guitar. It was very expensive. And so like those are obviously supposed to protect your guitar. And it was inside the guitar case, and the guitar case fell over when I was like setting down busking, and it was like completely closed and everything. But when I opened it, the neck had completely snapped off. And so at that point, I didn't really know much about like repairs, and like I didn't even know if it was possible to repair something like that. And I had it fixed, but the guy that fixed it wasn't apparently not. He didn't do such a good job. So it was sort of a matter of time until it happened again, I suppose.
Oh no.
And so another year later, now in New Zealand, is when my boyfriend accidentally drops the guitar case and the neck snaps. And so it happened again, and then we took the broken guitar back to Australia, and my friend offered to fix it for free. And I'm not sure if he did a great job. It definitely doesn't look too professional, but it does the job. Like, it looks pretty brutalistic, to be honest. It has screws in here and like a big crack.
Oh well, it's like a smiley face.
But it works, so that's good. At least it's not in two pieces.
But you had another electric at one stage. I think it was like a Gibson or something, wasn't it?
Nah.
Didn't you?
I do have a Gibson. Yeah, I do have a Gibson Gold Top in Berlin.
That's right. That's because I saw this Epiphone. I was like, where is the other one? Look, I suppose as a traveling rock star, you need to have instruments in every city, right?
Pretty much. I have like another, I think 3 guitars in Berlin and a bass and a ukulele.
Well, you need to have these things. Trust me, I know. I've recently just redone the whole studio I was explaining to you earlier, and it's like an advanced illness of sorts. You know, you have to buy all these things and collect things and mount things and walls and like new screens and keyboards, and it never stops. It doesn't stop.
Yeah. I know, like my boyfriend also, he's doing producing as well, but he's still very much like sort of a beginner, but like he's been recording himself and like done his stuff on GarageBand, but like not really like hasn't really worked all that much with like professional software. He's like only started doing that like maybe a month or 2 ago, like during lockdown. It's quite
a difference. I mean, because I bought one of these Yamaha mixing desks, which is what I've been using for this show. So it does all of the mixing for the microphone, and whatever comes through the computer goes through the desk and all that stuff. But I'm able to use Cubase for free, but I've upgraded several times, obviously. But it's an incredible piece of software, and you can do so much stuff on there. So. And are you also kind of doing your own recordings a little bit here and there, or?
Not really. I'm not like that technically versed. Like, I'm not. Yeah.
There's always a time. There's always a time to learn.
My boyfriend's happy to do it. Like,
well,
whenever.
there you go.
So, like, I don't really need to know.
Well, there you go. What else can you say? I'm just thinking. Oh, yeah. You went on this like whole crazy van life trip. You bought a van and Tell me, like,
first I bought a van in Australia, and we've done like a little bit of work, but it was pretty much already like it's her name's Gertie, and she's a little old shitbox, but she is a pretty trusty shitbox. Like she has like a bed and like a little kitchenette and like not that much storage, but it just about fits our stuff. Like
wow.
And you sort of have to limit the amount of clothes you have and like all those like other things.
Minimalism.
And mostly it's just gear. Takes up a lot of space. 2 guitars and like 2 amps and cables and stands and all sorts of things, batteries and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah. And then I bought a van in Europe last year, like about a year ago actually, before my European summer tour last year. I bought a Ford Transit, and it was like sort of half converted to a camper, and we did the rest of the work with some help of my stepdad. And
cool.
Yeah, and that was good. And now we sort of know how to do like a full conversion by now. Like I've done heaps of research as well, and that's something I'm very much keen to do at some point, probably in Australia when we come next time.
There's like
because the van we currently have, I think we're going to sell that one when we leave, and then get a new van next time, because it's just too small for us. Like we just have too much shit.
You need one of those, like you need the way to go is to get one of these 170 Sprinters.
Yeah, that's about the size I want. Like, but I probably will get a Ford Transit instead, because they're to get parts for them is a bit cheap.
Yeah, and they're also pretty spacious as well. Like they're sort of quite square, and
they're a bit wider.
Yeah, exactly.
Fit like a bed, like sideways.
Yeah.
Just about, like if you're not too tall, it's like 180 long. So
I thought you were going to say that you could fit another guitar in.
Probably that too.
But that's great. There's like a big push now to like van lifing and like moving into kind of smaller housing and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that sounds
that kind of stuff.
That sounds pretty cool.
I wouldn't be against the idea of having like a tiny house one day as well, or like I don't really need that big a space, I don't think. Personally.
Well, I can tell you something, in Brandenburg there's plenty of space, and I'm sure that people would be quite keen to rent out part of their property, you know?
Yeah, that's what they do here as well in Australia.
I mean, surely there's a way of doing that. The thing is, in Berlin there's no space for that anymore. You know, all those like Gartenverein and that sort of stuff, that's all like you can't even get in. So like you have to consider like moving outwards. So that would be Brandenburg.
Yeah.
And there's so much space, like there's like forests and fields, and like nothing goes on there, you know?
Yeah, I know. I grew up like sort of, my parents bought a property on the countryside, like a bungalow, when I was like 10. And it's like an hour away from Berlin. And we've spent like every weekend there when it was like summer and stuff.
That's the way.
Like all the holidays. And so like I grew up basically like mostly in Berlin, but I also had a little bit of nature, which sort of kills me because I'm really allergic to
the pollen.
Like I have severe hay fever, so that's not always fun.
Doesn't help. Berlin and Brandenburg full of pollen.
So I'm sort of happy I'm missing that right now in Berlin, because I'll be dying right now.
Oh no, there's the favorite is those white, like the white seeds. I don't know what they are, but they sort of fly through the air. I think it's tree pollen.
Yeah,
it's that
could
sort
be.
of like white, like fluffy.
Yeah, I think they're from something like from sort of tree. I'm not sure which.
Horrific if you have hay fever. Good. And what was I gonna say? How was New Zealand? Like, that must be. I haven't been there before, and it just seems amazing.
It's a beautiful country. It's really picturesque. Like, It's very green. The people are really lovely. It's not quite as, it's probably like a very similar climate to sort of Germany.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it gets like, it doesn't get too hot there in summer, like maybe around 30, maybe around 30, 35, probably at the very most. Like mostly it will be in the 20s in summer. So it's like even a bit colder maybe than like Germany. Yeah, it's lovely. It's definitely worth the trip.
Did you manage to get down to?
It's obviously very far away.
Did you manage to get down to Rotorua?
No,
No.
I haven't.
I don't think. I mean, the only thing you'd probably miss out on is that very bad smell coming from the geysers. You know, there's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get that very kind of sulfuric smell.
Is that on the North Island?
I think it's Rotorua is south of the North Island, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think.
Or south of the South Island, I can't remember.
I think I think it is on the North Island, and I've driven past there once.
Yeah.
With like inside of like a really shitty like coach bus.
Oh yeah.
To get from A to B, because they don't have any trains. Like actually, the public transport system pretty much sucks, unless you're in the city. It's very hard.
I've been told that.
It's like unless you have a car, like.
Or you have to be on a bicycle, because that's like the only other option.
Fuck. I mean, it is pretty big though. Like there will be a. I mean.
And it's pretty hilly as well. There's quite a lot of mountainous terrain.
I was getting quite car sick actually, because like it's just basically just like that the whole time. And it's nothing for somebody with like a sensitive stomach.
No.
Like I didn't even think I would get car sick like that, but yeah,
but you did. And tell me, have you managed to get down to Tasmania at all?
I haven't yet. No, I was actually gonna go in like May now, but that was before Corona. So no.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of really good footage on Tasmania. It looks incredible. Like most of my family have been to Tasmania now, but I reckon next time I come over to Australia, I'm gonna have to go there.
When's the last time you went to Australia?
Well, it was last year in December.
Right. That's pretty. I didn't even know.
November, December.
We just missed each other.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to get down there once a year, because my brothers and nephews and my sister-in-law, they all live in Sydney. So.
Cool.
Yeah. So rather than doing like the whole rather than doing multiple like flights and that kind of thing around the world, I'm just doing like one big trip a year for 3 weeks, and that's to Sydney. And what more could you want, right? Like, I love Sydney.
It's pretty nice.
I love Sydney. I think Sydney's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I lived there for a while, so like it's not like I'm a tourist, like I arrive there and like I can fit in quite quickly, and you really enjoy like 3 weeks. You don't have to like go and do all the touristy things, there can't be anything worse than that.
Yeah, it's nice to do that sometimes, but I don't really do that all that often, unfortunately, either.
No, but I mean the touristy stuff, you don't want to do that. Like I think if you do it once, then that's it. You don't need to do it. You don't need to go and do that every time you're in the same place. Like, what about another song, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay.
Just keeping you on the spot.
I just gotta think about which one. Okay. Forgot the mic.
Sometimes you need it.
So professional.
Uber professional.
All
right. So this song is called Without Looking Back. You dip your toes, but you never die. The fear of drowning holds you back. And when the tide comes, it'll send you drifting. Now it's my ship you wreck. You drain an ocean, wanting more, but shallow waters guide your way. And when the waves come crashing in, there's no way to escape. I never asked for anything. Oh, I was the perfect catch. But you threw me out again without even looking back. On the surface you are calm, but you wouldn't let me see the depth of what is in your heart, or the deep trouble at sea. I never asked for anything. No, I was the perfect catch. But you threw me out again without even looking back. I never asked for anything. Oh, I was the perfect catch. But you threw me out again without even looking back. I never asked for anything. No, I was the perfect catch. You threw me out again without even looking back. Without even looking back. Without even looking back. Without even looking back.
Wowee. Is that one of yours?
Yeah.
What is it, a new one? New one?
I think I wrote it like about 2 years ago, so it's not that new.
That's great.
But I haven't released it. I haven't like officially released it, so it still sort of feels new. You know what I mean?
Time to get on the recording wagon.
Yeah, it's like it's on the cards. Let's say. I've been working on like yeah, you would know.
I know.
Yeah, I've been working on an EP for ages, but like it still needs more work. So
it is a massive from what I've sort of realized now, it's a massive challenge to find someone or a studio or producer that you can actually properly relate to. I think it's a very challenging environment, and that's why I think there's like a massive push towards people doing their own recordings.
Yeah.
And I think it makes more sense because you know what you are looking for from a sound, you know what you are aiming for, and yeah, it requires a couple of different skills and different skill set. But I think if you master that and you can actually capture your own sound and then basically just ship that off to someone to do the mastering, then it takes away the whole political kind of fraught tension that you sometimes find within that space,
Agreed. And there's like mostly so much money involved, like when it comes to recording in most studios. So like, yeah, it's a lot of pressure, especially when you're not making that much money as a musician. It's
totally. I mean, for me, it makes very little sense to spend even more money than the equipment that I've now managed to sort of get over a period of 2 or 3 years, and then have something which you then release and it's out in the air for like a couple of months, and then you've got to do it all over again. So like for me, like it makes a lot more sense to actually build over a period of time, build your own like bulletproof home studio, or even a studio that can actually travel with you, and then record record as much as you can, and then just ship it off to someone who can actually do a fairly decent job on mastering.
But
I think gone are the days where you need like studio quality releases,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think,
and it just doesn't pay off anymore. I mean,
no, it doesn't. I think to go ahead and spend thousands of euros on an EP, which basically lasts for maybe, I would say, 3 months. It's a very tough call. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah, but yeah,
because at least
difficult topic.
It is a tough topic. It is a tough one. I mean, what I've decided now is I'm going to start looking at just doing mastering, so becoming like really good at mastering. So getting what I can from musicians who are doing their own home recordings, and then putting it through various pieces of software, maybe a couple of racks, just to kind of get the right sound, and then that's that. No major cost, because like mastering can't cost thousands of euros. It can't. Like I don't know how. Well, we'll have to see how much time it actually takes, but I think that's where the music industry is going now.
Yeah.
You just turned your video off.
It just told me that I only have 20%.
Well,
so like
that then probably means that your phone is saying, "Hey, I don't want to do interviews anymore." But yeah, it's been great to chat. Like lovely to see you after a while, and nice to catch up. And
yeah, agreed.
Next time we can come and actually look at the studio here at the Spandau place.
Yeah.
The last time you were here, there was nothing in this apartment.
I think, yeah, true.
There was nothing here.
Yeah.
It was like
we were just moving in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I've like totally fully kitted out, and we can play around with Cubase.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool, man. But listen, take care of yourself, and
you too.
We look forward to seeing you back in the big B at some point.
Yeah, I hope sooner rather than later. I'm sorry I'm missing summer right now because it's like pretty cold over here now.
Oh
So
no, it's
it's not too bad, but
no.
it's gonna get there soon.
All right. Well, look after yourself, and thank you very much for your time. And we'll see you very soon.
Cool. Thank you too.
Have a good one.
Have a good day.
You
Bye.
too. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Cheers. So that was Alice Hills, all the way from Wollongong, just 2 hours, 2 hours south of Sydney. Great to have her on board. Hope you enjoyed that, and look forward to next week's installment. We have James Michael Rogers, an incredible guitarist, vocalist, and someone you definitely need to come and listen to and just kind of get an idea of who he is and what he's about. And great guy. He's from Scotland and based in Berlin.